Kuttah Spoken Truth, we back at it again. I want to give my take on this in-season tournament that the NBA came up with, or shall I say, made up. You know, there's a lot of things that's going on in the NBA that's made up, and I understand why. They're doing everything they can with their commissioner, Adam Silver, to keep the fan base coming and to keep people interested in the NBA. But the reality is it has become nothing but a storyline. You know, my grandma used to watch the stories. And though it was hard to get into the stories as young kids in elementary, right? But when we really sat down and paid attention to the stories that she used to watch, they had interesting storylines that pertain to life that was able to generate people attention. And that's how Adam Silver is making the NBA. He just turning into the stories, man. It's nothing but good storyline to keep people interested. It have nothing to do no more with competition, with players being hungry, with players going out there giving it their all. It's all about showcase and money. That's all it's about. Okay? And Adam Silver, he doing everything he can to ride the LeBron James train. Don't get me wrong, I understand, because LeBron James is a big market. The attention that he brought to the NBA and continue to bring to the NBA, I understand it and I get it. And he riding this LeBron James train all the way out to keep people interested in the NBA. And so he doing little things to help him out, to keep him relevant, to push him over the edge into being the number one GOAT of all time, man. The greatest of all time, the GOAT. All right. And I know that sounds kind of crazy. The GOAT, don't GOAT mean the greatest of all time? Yeah, but there's many GOATs when it comes to the NBA. All right. Many GOATs. All right. In my personal opinion, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. But LeBron James is a GOAT. Okay? Now, if they was going to do an in-season tournament, they should have did it mid-season. Wipe out that All-Star Weekend crap. That shit is no more relevant, man. This don't even make sense to have it no more. It's not like it used to be anyway. All-Star Weekend is trash. There used to be a time when my mama used to sit all of her boys down, me and my brothers down, and we used to be glued to the TV All-Star Weekend because they used to compete. Everybody wanted to be the best out there. The games used to be full of competition. But now, All-Star Weekend is trash. Get rid of that. If they want to make any decision when they're coming up with in-season tournament, get rid of the All-Star Weekend and do in-season tournament during that time. Because at least around that time, right, you have better understanding of people's standings. It will show you a more clear picture of the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference because enough games would have been played to show you where they are, where they at. So they should have get rid of the All-Star Weekend. And what bothered me about this in-season tournament, that people really don't see what's going on. Like my little brother like to say, you got to have that third eye. You got to have that third eye. In other words, the spirit, that spiritual nuance, that spiritual intellectual wisdom to see how jacked up the NBA really is. Because you got people saying that the in-season tournament is good for it's forcing people to compete. But I disagree wholeheartedly with that. The problem with the NBA, and don't misunderstand me, the problem with the NBA is they making too much money to do nothing. And I'm all for the players getting as much money as they can because they out there on the floor. They should be paid according to their talent. But the problem is you making all this money and you got people coming to the game to see you, and yet you don't want to play because you talk about load management. Or my team ain't good this season, so I'm going to take games off. I'm going to tank this season to get a better draft pick next year. No. You getting paid all this money. You need to be out there playing. You need to be out there competing, game in and game out. They shouldn't have to make up an in-season tournament to force people to compete. No, they need to start putting clauses and stipulation in these people's contract, saying if you don't do this, you don't play this amount of games, if we see you out there not competing, then you lose your contract. That's what they need to start doing. These corporations, these jobs, these careers, if you're not meeting their procedures, if you're not upholding their vision, the mission statement of their company, if you're breaking safety rules, if you're not meeting the obligation of your job description, what happened? They let you go. They fire your ass. And they need to start doing the same thing with the NBA. You don't have to come up with no in-season tournament and make people who getting paid millions of dollars to compete. That's why they need to open the NBA up and start telling these players, listen, there's somebody out in the streets. There's somebody in school right now. There's somebody out in the hood. We can give them $1 million a year and they'll come and play their bust off. They'll play hard every game. So if you're not meeting the stipulations of this contract, we will let you go. And I hear you. Some people saying, well, ain't nobody going to want to watch. Well, so be it. But when you start seeing some of these people in the hood that's out here hungry, out here jumping and touching the top of the backboard, doing things on a hoop court that we never seen before out here in the streets, out here in the hood, and you start paying them $2 million a year or a contract or what have you, and they get out there in the NBA and start doing things better than some of the NBA players, oh, it will keep our attention. Because it's a shame that the NBA have to do things to keep players' attention that's making millions upon millions upon millions to go out there and do something that they claim they love doing. This is ludicrous. Don't make no sense. I love the game of basketball. Me and my brothers love the game of basketball. Me and my other one of my brothers, we played college ball. We played college ball. And we went out there and competed every game. We went out there wanting to get buckets every game. Doing it for free because we loved the game. We didn't miss no games. We didn't set out no games in college. We went out there to say we got a point to prove because we loved the game and we had that spirit of competitiveness in us. We wanted to be the best. We wanted to go out there and cross people, dunk, put buckets on people's head, and couldn't wait to the next game to see what we can do. And here it is, these people getting millions upon millions upon millions, and they don't even want to play games, load management, all this type of crap, man. This is crazy, man. So where people say it's good for the NBA, nah. It's making the league even weaker. Now let's talk about this in-season tournament. Man, it was rigged, man. I don't care what nobody say, man. Adam Silver rigged this tournament, man. It was rigged, man. They claim it was a random draw. And this random draw made it easy for the Lakers to have an easier road than anybody else to the finals, to win this made up championship or cup, whatever they calling it, to help give LeBron James more accolades. And I'm not taking nothing from that brother. I'm all, for him. He doing his thing. Can't nobody take that away from him. When it comes to stats, that's why I say there's many GOATs in the NBA as far as I'm concerned. So when it comes to stats, he's the GOAT. And he done pushed them stats up there that it's going to be hard for anybody to break, man. So when it comes to the stats and longevity in the NBA, he is the GOAT. And now if anybody would sit down and do a comparison between him and MJ, I would say this, because I done it. I would say this. MJ did way more in the amount of time that he was in the NBA than LeBron James. Okay? He did way more. And we'll never know which is MJ's fault. And we really can't say it's totally all his fault because of I think the commissioner at that time was David Stern, that behind the scenes they forced him out them 2 years between his three-peats because of gambling. All right. And this is all alleged. I really don't know if this is true, but say MJ had to lead the lead that 2 year period between his three-peats with the Bulls because of the gambling. David Stern was punishing him because he was a gambler. Because during that time, NBA was more about professionalism when David Stern was over the league. And that's why when Allen Iverson came through there, David Stern had a hard time accepting him and his talent because he was bringing that hip hop type of persona to the league. That's why when you pay attention to the league before Allen Iverson came in, it was professionalism, man. It was about them being competitive and being professionals in the NBA. That's why they always had suits on. You couldn't dress no any kind of way. You couldn't conduct yourself any kind of way because they was looking at it like this. We paying you a lot of money. This is your job. You're going to be a professional. This is your job. And so with MJ being a gambler, like I said, all this is alleged. David Stern's way of punishing him was to force him out the league for them 2 years. And I say that because we don't really know what MJ could have did or would have done in them 2 years. We don't know if it would have been an 8-peat. We don't know if he'd have won 8 championships back to back. But that's a great possibility that he would have. And I know the Houston Rockets was good during that time. I think it was the Houston Rockets, the Dream and Kenny Smith and them. Yeah, I know they was good at the time, but we talking about MJ. If MJ made it to the finals, according to his record, he was 100%. He was going to win. If he got to the finals, he was going to find a way for sure to win. Okay? But anyway, LeBron James is the GOAT of stats. In this in-season tournament, being rigged with the so-called, and I quote, random draw, paved the way for him to have an easier road to padding more of his stats to get more trophies and accolades. I mean, he had to face the Blazers, the Jazz, the Grizzlies, Pelicans, the Suns. The Suns about the only team that really posed a threat to the Lakers. Okay? And the Pacers, I knew they was going to beat the Pacers. Because y'all can say what y'all want to say. When AD come to play, man, AD going to play. When he want to really play, in my personal opinion, he one of the best big mans in the league. And depending on what type of AD that come to the game, he is the best player, best big man in the league when he really come to play. So I knew the Pacers was not going to beat the Lakers. Okay? But their road to that championship, I mean, the cup, it was easy. And so they gave him, I guess you want to call it his fifth ring or his fifth championship, if that's what we want to call it. And then the in-season tournament was so rigged that he even won the finals, the MVP. When AD should have got it. They had all these stipulations and this and that and other to make sure that he won the MVP. And that's cool. That's all cool. But most of the time, the last game or the finals is what determines if the person gets the MVP. Right? So this in-season tournament was not really about, if you got that third eye, like my little brother like to say, this in-season tournament was not really about making the people compete, making the players compete. This in-season tournament was all about pushing LeBron James. Okay? That's what this in-season about. Helping him out. Keeping him relevant. It been 4 years. I think it been 4 years since he won his last championship. And this is his 21st year of being in the league. He's been in the league for 21 years. I think it's 21 years. And so in 21 years, he got, if we're going to call this in-season tournament a championship, so he got 5 championships in 21 seasons. And people will argue that these last 2 championships that he got, a lot of people will argue that they are jokes because even in playing in the bubble, a lot of people believe that was rigged to help him win a championship. And this in-season tournament definitely was rigged. If you sit down and look at it and count up the cost, man, you'll see all of this played in his favor. And the refs, we know the refs played in his favor. You know, people that really never played serious professional sports. When I talk about in high school or college or NBA, what have you, I'm not just talking about street ball. A lot of people don't realize referees can control the game. It's very important for a player to always be composed because a referee and how they call calls can cause the momentum to switch from one team to another. I don't care what nobody tell you. It can. They can make some calls, some wrong calls, and it can frustrate your team. It can frustrate the coach. It can frustrate the players out there. And if they make the same type of wrong calls repeatedly, it really would throw you off your square, man. Because now people start getting texts. The coach will get a text. The players getting text. So yes, referees can control a game. They can shift the momentum from one team to another. And I'm not taking nothing from the Lakers, but that second go round when the Lakers and the Celtics was in the finals going against each other, the referee helped the Lakers beat Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce in that finals. Because I think in the fourth quarter alone, if my memory serves me correctly, in the fourth quarter alone, they went to the free throw line at least, 22 times in the fourth quarter alone? They was getting away with going over the back of Kevin Garnett and whatnot. The referees helped swing the momentum from the Celtics side to the Lakers and help push the Lakers over the edge to win the championship. So yes, referees can help further rig games in favor of players or the agenda of the commissioner. And the agenda of the commissioner, Adam Silver, was to keep pushing LeBron James. And let me tell you this, I won't be surprised if they keep pushing him to win the championship this year. I won't be surprised because they got to use LeBron James. He is the money man. He is the market for the NBA. So they have to keep using him. They have to keep pushing him. They have to keep up the debate between him and MJ. Right? When you got people like Anthony Edwards that they can use and push to keep the NBA going. Because that boy got game, man. That boy got game. So that's my take on it. Man, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Drop some comments below and let me know what you think about this in-season tournament that the Lakers just won. What's your thoughts on it? What's your take on it? All right? Peace.